Hi. So I'm going to start with journals because that was something that Kate brought up that is super interesting to me. So I live in a essentially one room apartment. It's like bedroom and then kitchen over there. Essentially, it's like a one room. Um, I'm not going to show you all the journals and notebooks I have in my apartment. That would take too long. I'm just going to show you the number of journals and notebooks that were on my nightstand when I went over to grab them to shoot this. And it's going to seem kind of bonkers. So, this is a notebook I've shown you before. It contains things like notes for your pants made about videos and shopping lists and other like listy things. It is mostly full, but like there's still some space and I'll use it until there is nothing. Then we have what I call my Brain Blast notebook, which says Eureka on it. And it's for things like notes about journal, like notes about writing I'm doing, like creative writing or fan fiction or whatever. There's a page on it that was my word count for NaNo. Like this is like my last 2 days of NaNo and trying to get from 32,000 to 50,000 and how I actually did it. I wrote down the word count every couple hours or so to keep myself as a motivator. And like on the page before, there are actual notes about like ideas I had to further my story along. So those are two of the notebooks. Then there's this one, which that's Cinderella's castle at Disney World. I took that picture. I don't necessarily want to show too much, but my idea is it's a 1 page per every month notebook, and it like sums up my whole month in a word, in a sentence, and then make notes, and then the Calm app has an emoji board where you do one emoji per day every single day, and I've been doing it since mid-December. So part of my 1 day per month notebook is like, in this month there were X number of happy faces and X number of sad faces, which is like helpful for understanding like, okay, January seems good, but was it really good on a day-to-day level, which is helpful for me. Then I have this, which is kind of like holographic. And I got one I went on a cruise last year. And it's similar to the zebra print notebook, which is just like shopping lists, grocery lists, other lists of things to do lists. I mean, that's the word for that. And then I have a couple of these when I have like short lists I have to make. I have so many notebooks. But the most noteworthy one today is I have this, which is not spiral bound, unlike the other ones. And it's so pretty. I got it as a holiday gift along with this Gryffindor pen, which is gorgeous. And I really struggle to make like the first mark in a notebook. So like I've had this and I'm just like, oh, I should write in it. What should I write? What should this notebook be for? And like, I'm never like exact about it, but I'm like, oh my God, I can't screw this up. So I have not written a single thing in it. So I have to figure out like, what is the point of this notebook, which I think is so pretty. Like, I don't know what to do with it yet. So it's been sitting on my nightstand. It will continue sitting on my nightstand until I figure it out. And now I'm surrounded by notebooks and journals. Great. Okay. You were talking about ADHD. I can't remember if I've talked about this recently or otherwise. I don't know. I had an ADHD diagnosis in college. I got that diagnosis rescinded because when I got the bipolar diagnosis, they said, oh, that's just hypomania. And I was like, no, I really think I have ADHD, but I never got the diagnosis back. So, like, I formerly had it. I officially don't have it. But everything you're saying I relate to. I have crappy memory. I can't focus on things a lot of the time. I'll go from doing like one thing to another and sometimes not realize I've made the switch and be like, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be doing that one thing. And it's really frustrating. And my memory is so bad. That's why I keep journals, because otherwise I will forget everything. Most of my like journaling is electronic, which is great for the Control F feature. Oh my God. Oh, I've been over this like 10 times. I am obsessed with Control F in electronic journals. It's amazing. The Swiss Retirement Community Tumblr, I had forgotten completely, and you reminded me of it, and it like jogged the memory, and it was like, oh, huh, that's a great idea. um, it's like one of those things like, it's not going to happen, but it's fun to like daydream about things. And I had forgotten that that was like a thing once upon a time for more than like a minute too. Um, the home videos that I was talking about were, I think, filmed on like a point and shoot camera that were big in the 90s. So like not a expensive, high quality piece of tech. So yeah, it would be probably much easier to have done in the 90s than in the 80s. We never owned like a video camcorder or whatever you call those things. We owned like the point and shoot. And I'm very glad to have them. I still haven't finished watching them, but I will. The 15-minute videos, I did not really realize it until you said it, but Kate, but like they're so fun. I get like embarrassed when I make one and I'm like, oh my God, I've been talking forever. But whenever anybody else posts one, I get really excited about it because it's like your personality shows through more, I think, when you like kind of let yourself go and just keep talking, as opposed to like, I'm gonna like stick to 4 minutes and like stick to a schedule and like be formal. But when it's like, oh, it's been 8 minutes or 10 minutes or 12 minutes, it's like you just kind of like let loose and had fun on video talking. And I like that when I'm watching other people do it. So maybe I should judge myself less. Not saying I should always make 15-minute videos, but like you're right that it is a positive to to take it in when someone else makes one. They're also kind of chaotic, and every good video is a bit chaotic, isn't it? Like, isn't it? Year 11, that's a thing. The Your Pants collab is timed almost exactly with my mental health breakdown in 2011. So every single time we talk about milestones and like, oh, we've made it this many years, it's like, I've made it this many years like alive. And like, I know that sounds weird, but like, it's a really cool thing because if I didn't have this as a reminder of years, I might not pay attention to it as much. Or I may think of it as like a negative because it's like, oh, that bad thing happened 11 years ago, but it's like, or 10 years ago. But like, I'm here. I made it to today, which is cool. So like, I feel like talking about the anniversary is like a big positive for me because like I can be like, I have so many things to celebrate and I get to a reminder of that a little early. So that's cool. Oh, so I went through a phase 2 weeks ago or last week or something. I don't know if I talked about this before. I probably did. So there's this actor whose name is Timothée Chalamet. I had heard his name before, but I had never seen him. I didn't know who he was until he was on SNL in December, I think. Or maybe January. I don't remember. So my first impression of him was in the rap roundtable or hip hop roundtable, I can't remember what it's called, sketch where he is acting as like a wannabe white boy rapper. It's the Yeet skirt video, and it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. So after I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get why people like him. All right, I'd never seen him in anything. So I then proceeded to watch last week, or 2 weeks ago or something, 3 movies of his in 3 days. Wow, I'm off screen. Which was quite the binge. And during that binge, for someone who doesn't usually watch movies, I have lost my train of thought entirely. Oh, was watching some YouTube videos of him, including right after I had uploaded my last video, I was watching YouTube videos of him speaking French while logged into the YPO channel. So my apologies if now all of the recommendations, if you ever see that, are Timothée Chalamet speaking French, which I know is not everybody's cup of tea, which is cool. I got out of that phase, but I did enjoy, I watched Call Me By Your Name and Little Women and Miss Stevens, and I enjoyed all 3. I thought he did a great job. I think I'm done with that obsession now, but it was very intense for like 3 days. I cannot remember if I said this 5 minutes ago or not. My attention span is so short. Their dancing video was great. Oliver, thank you for making it. I loved seeing everybody's cats and the dancing and being silly and the music, so it was fun. Thank you for putting that together. I appreciate it. I really liked seeing it, and I think it was a good idea to like actually make it happen as opposed to just talking about it, because like it is a big anniversary and we do have a lot to celebrate. So I'm glad we made it. And it is 10 minutes. Holy smokes, how did that happen? Okay, because I was going to talk about one thing for a whole while, and it's 10 minutes already. So, but like I said, grace for myself, because I would give grace to anybody else anytime. So I'll talk about it a little bit. In November, I did NaNoWriMo, as you are probably well aware. I completed it, including doing 18,000 words in the last 2 days or so, or the last weekend. And I was very, very proud of it. But I had this mindset as I was writing, like right after I wrote, I was like, I don't ever want anyone to see this because it is too personal. Like, yes, it is a book about Mexican pizzas and wanting to eat a Mexican pizza, but it's also really personal and really true to life. And as I was reading it, so I did not read it for several months. I finally picked it up last week and finished it tonight. And I made notes for myself. And in the beginning, while reading, I was like, oh my God, I like this. Like, I wouldn't mind if this got published someday. Like, this is not bad. And then I continued reading, and I realized it is too true to life. To a point where there are people who would not be happy with the fact that they are in this book. Like, I did not portray anyone negatively. Like, the most negative thing in there is that it like focuses on mental health too much, which was the point of the book, but like sometimes too darkly, and I don't really want that as dark in the story, so I would have to fix that. But I had a crush in real life in October and November, and I wrote them into the book in a way that like there is a very large collection of people out there, none of whom I've ever met, who would recognize exactly who I'm talking about. And like I like the usage of this character in the book. It's not really the person, but the way I met the person is the same, and some of my interactions with the person are the same. So like it's Facebook based, but like if I were to post that, 100 people would like see a description of this story and read it and be like, holy shit, she's obsessed with this person. And like, that's not good. Like it for that reason alone, the book is completely unmarketable, because it comes across as like creepy obsessed with someone who I had no right to be obsessed with. um like, we're Facebook friends, we're not really real life friends. We've interacted with each other like twice, but in the book we interact like all the time. And he's not really a main character. Like, it doesn't really matter that much, but he matters just enough that I like the book would feel incomplete without him, whatever. So I have to figure out how to change that, because it's like, having finished it, like I really like it. Like, I think I did a really good job. I think I got across everything I wanted to get across. But like, I cringed a couple times because I'm like, that's a little stalkery for me to have adapted him into a character so directly. Like, none of the conversations in the book are real, but the way we met is real enough that it's identifiable. And like, if the book is for me, whatever, it's fine. But if I ever want a single other person to see this or to try to publish it, like, it is way too true to life. And like, my cousins are in it in a way that like I knew at the time. I was like, oh, that's whatever, it's fine. But like, they look exactly like my cousins, which is weird. And they're the same age. And I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? No, I know what I was thinking. I was thinking it didn't matter because no one was ever going to see it. But I really like it. I think the tie-in between Taco Bell and mental health worked. And that was all I really cared about when I was writing it. So, I love you, Taco Bell. I love you, Mexican pizza. I mean, the book is literally a love letter to the Mexican pizza. So yeah, that's... I have to figure out what to do. Like, I've never edited anything in my life. I might actually edit this because it's bad. No, it's so good though. It's so good. I enjoyed it, but it's just bad. Okay, I made a 15-minute video. I'm sorry to me. I'm sorry if you were short on time or something. Okay. All right, love you guys. Can't wait to see you guys soon. DFTBA. Love you guys. Bye.